So after owning the Canon R6 Mark II for about 1 year, I can definitely say it has been a camera that really has helped me a lot on learning the video side of things. So in this video, I'm going to discuss my 1 year long term here with my Canon R6 Mark II, and also I'm going to talk about the 3 pros and some of the cons that I have with this camera in 2024. The first, let's talk about the video quality. So that is one of the things that when I look for a mirrorless camera is I wanted to see what can it do as far as video. Like I want to make sure it shoots in a way that reflects my brand. Since I film a lot of weddings, that is basically one of the things that I want to make sure that it shoots very high quality videos. And not only that, but I also wanted to shoot like very cinematic videos. Very important for me to start to color grade, start to get more life out of it, if you say. And with the R6 Mark II, knowing that how to use C-Log 3, like I previously mentioned on the beginning of this video, has enabled me to really find the potentials on this camera throughout last year actually, 2023. When I was filming weddings, it just looks very, just more. You can get more colors out of the film. Be that one person that can just film a whole wedding with just utilizing C-Log 3 and getting that 10-bit color 422 out of this camera internally. And that has been a huge thing for me. And also downsamples that 6K image resolution down to a 4K, which also has helped me out a lot. And that really presents itself when I deliver these videos, because it shows that, hey, I'm delivering higher quality videos. Of course, I should charge more for my videos. And so with that being said, it has been enabling me to do that for a very long time. So the second pro would be battery life. And battery life on this camera compared to an R5C, which I used to own, right? It's not a big difference. But with this camera, the battery life I've had it for, it can record 4K 24 all the way till the battery dies, which is around like just a little over 2 hours, which is great. That's perfect. That is, I mean, if I want to extend it, I definitely want to. I can get a battery grip. I get an extension, out of a power bank if I need to plug it via USB cable, USB-C. And so with that being said, yeah, battery life, I have no issues with it. It has been done me well, and yeah, definitely recommend for this tiny small body, right? Battery life it's exceptional. It's really good. Third pro here, this camera is travel friendly, right? I rented the actual Canon C70, and of course that was just bigger, right? But it had more features, obviously, right? You have internal NDs, right? You have XLR outputs. You have a lot more going with that camera. But I like to travel friendly, and I love to travel with cameras that are just light when I go on a plane or when I travel, via ground. But this camera has enabled me to be just easy to use. It's very ergonomically good in the hands, obviously, but to travel with this, it's just been light, and I travel light, and I try not to have as much, bring enough gear with me to a wedding day, but preferably something that is easy on the hands and on my back especially. So let's now talk about the cons of this camera. And so the first one would be the micro HDMI, and that has been around for such a long time now. The EOS R and the RP, they both had an HDMI, a full HDMI, if you look at them. And then after that, it was just micro HDMIs coming into these mirrorless cameras, which really, as a content creator, you definitely want to have the ability to have that HDMI, right, and be able to get any external monitor, right, and that you can be able to see that, you can be able to plug it in and just be able to see your image or your videos in a higher, better quality, and know what is in focus and what's not in focus. and have both screens and being enabled. So that has been the negative side, and I hope, because rumors have it of the Canon R5 Mark II coming out pretty soon, hopefully that one will have an in full size HDMI, and we're going back to there. That would be big. But for now, that is one of the cons about this camera. It's not very, how should I put it, secure, right, in any other way. Okay, so the next con here would be, I don't know really if this would consider be a con. I've had no overheating issues with my Canon R6 Mark II, and with that being said, I did not have any problems with it. When I record 4K 60, when it comes to a wedding, right, you definitely want to utilize 4K 60 for some slow-mo shots. I think most of the time that I've had it, I sometimes would just turn it off when I'm not using it, right, and then turn it back on when I want to use it. And so, not always switching back on and off. It's just a certain amount of time gaps that there are during the wedding. But when I switch it to 4K 30 or 4K 24, I have not had no issues with overheating whatsoever. And that's perfect, because when you have the ceremony, you want to record that. It could be 20, 30, could be an hour long. And you want to definitely just keep it recording without overheating and having to think, oh, is my camera done? Is my camera overheating? Do I have to go in there and check, or do I have my assistant or my second shooter go check? No. And so with the R6 Mark II, I do have that peace of mind, and I love it because of that. I'm not able to, worry about it whatsoever at 4K 24 when it comes to ceremony. I've recorded this. I used this for the past year at an Indian wedding, for example, and those can go over an hour. It was like an hour and 30 minutes. And this camera in the sun, okay, the sun was hitting it, and it was around maybe 77, 78 degrees, I would say, that day. And that's been allowing me for this camera to just be like a workhorse, because it would just record over all that time. And it still had about, I would say, around 40% battery life left at that point. Third thing is basically that I think I don't use it very much, but there's certain scenarios where I will use it again. The 4K 120, it doesn't allow you to have a 4K 120 image on this camera. You can only get that on the R5, R5C, and yeah, that's basically the third thing that I have with this camera. But I mean, you can still shoot up to 180 frames per second, and so in 1080. But with that being said, I hope this video you found it more useful, kind of like getting into the pros and cons. If you're thinking about getting this R6 Mark II, if you are a wedding videographer and you're planning on being a wedding videographer, this is the camera that I would recommend on Canon side. Of course, there are other brands out there, there are other cameras that you can look into. But anyways, yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please leave in the comments below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.